So our next topic is biology. So we are going to study the basic concepts of biology. So if you are just stepped into the 11th, and you should know some basics about 11th of the biology, or else you won't get anything. So first you need to know is the basics of biology. Then you will get some points to know. The first thing, let's start it without any delay. So first thing, what is biology? Biology is the branch of science which deals with the study of living organisms and their processes. So it is a branch of science and it deals with what? Living organisms, the organisms which are alive and their processes, what they do, what they do, like their age, how they walk, how they how they digest their food, what is their life cycle, what is their development and growth and about all, so that we study about living organisms and the product processes, like about we study about the reproduction, we study about the physiology, growth, development, and many more. So there are two branches in biology, so you should know them. So biology has two branches, zoology and botany. So what is zoology? So, zoology is the branch of biology which deals with the study of characteristics of plants. Now, zoology, so sorry for the mistake, it studies the characteristics of animals. So, zoology studies. Zoo means the place where animals are being kept. So, it's a branch of science which deals with the study of characteristics of animals. What are the characters, how they digest their food, how they do reproduction, and many more. So, it studies about animals. And botany. So, botany is the study of characteristics of plant, which studies about plants. We study the characteristics of how a plant grow and many more things. So, the next topic we will study is father of biology and zoology. So who is the father of biology and zoology? It's Aristotle. You might have heard his name in the Max, but he's the father of biology and zoology. So who is the father of botany? It is Theophrastus. Okay. Now you should know another thing is what is cell? Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. It is a structural and functional unit of life. It is a very important and is the basis of every life. So cell has two types, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So what are prokaryote? What is meaning of this pro? What is meaning of pro? Pro means primitive and meaning of you means true. Now what is the meaning of karyon? Nucleus. So prokaryote means the cells with primitive nucleus and eukaryotes means the cell with true nucleus. So let's study some more things about prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So these are the cells with primitive nucleus, and these are the cell without nucleus. So eukaryote has a nucleus, has a nuclear membrane, but prokaryotes don't have nucleus, neither they have nuclear membrane. They don't even have double membrane bounded cell organelles. Now what is the double membrane cell bounded organelles? These are nothing but Golgi complex, Golgi complex, cytoplasm, and many more. So these all things are absent in prokaryotes, and they have 70s type of ribosome. Now, what is this 70s type of Ribosome, there are two units. It is formed by two units, and one is larger unit, this one is smaller unit. The larger unit has 50s types of ribosome. This is 30s. What is yes? It is a measuring unit. And now you might be thinking 50 plus 30 is 80, but when these two compresses, the 10 unit weight goes. Imagine you took a balloon, the two balloons, when you compress them down, the between space, the place where they are compressed, is not included. The press it's become one, so it is doing like that. So the prokaryotic, they have nucleoid. What is nucleoid? What is meaning of this oid? You will study this in further biology. It means like that. It means nucleus like, or you can say If it is in something other things, then you can say like nucleus. It is like nucleus, something like nucleus and cell wall, and it has something like. Now let's study upon eukaryotic. So it is a cell with true nucleus. It has a true nucleus and nuclear membrane is present. It don't have nuclear membrane, but it has double membrane bonded cell organelles, all Golgi complex, cytoplasm, everything is present, and it has 80s type of ribosomes. In 70 years there are 50 and 30, but in 80 years there are 60 and 40. Now when they compress together, its 10 units and its 10 units get unincluded. You will, if I say you will just get a lot of confused. If I say it now, you will study this in your 11th. I will teach you this in your further sessions. Chloroplasts and mitochondria are called self-autonomous cell organelles. Now why they are called? This is a cell, and nucleus. Nucleus is a master organelle. It controls the function. It gives orders to all of them. But in chloro, chloroplast and mitochondria, they form their own DNA. They form their own DNA. Don't mind the structures. I'm bad at drawing. Ta-da. So when they take their own decisions, they don't need orders to be come. They don't need orders to come from the nucleus. So they do their own their own decisions, and sometimes they do their own decision, but sometimes they are controlled. But mainly they do take their own decision. Self-dependent. You too be self-dependent. Don't depend on your parents. Okay, dudes. So that's what they are called as cell. And now there's a cell theory. So organism is made up of cell and cell. Every organism, that is, it is made up of a cell and cellular products. Cell and cell products, you can call it a cellular products. So main cell products like mitochondria, Golgi complex. So it is made up of everything. You are made up of cell. You are made up of cell. Cell forms tissue. Tissue forms tissue. Tissue forms organs, organ systems, and organ system forms a whole body structure. So cell is the basis, and every cell is formed by the pre-existing cell. Now, it is a cell. Then it, you have heard about cell division. Then it divides and it forms more cells, and this cell divides and it forms. So every each cell is formed by the pre-existing cell. The theory was given by Shieldon and Schwann. They both did an experiment. One was in Britain and one is America. So they did this experiment and they got the same results and found these things. Now let's study about some discoverers. Nucleus is discovered by Robert Brown. Golgi complex is discovered by Camillo Golgi. Dead cell is discovered by Anton van Leeuwenhoek. He is the discoverer of microscope too. Now, powerhouse of the cell is mitochondria. Remember these things. Protein factor of the cell is ribosome. Suicide back of the sorry. Protein factory of the cell is ribosome. Suicide back of the cell is lysosome. Master organelle of the cell is nucleus. I've told you this before. Now let's study some new more topics, that is mitosis. Now it is an equational division where parent cell undergoes division to forms daughter cell, and daughter cells receive same number of chromosomes as that of their parents. So this is a mitodivision. The cell division, it happens according to mitosis. So this is 2n means 2. This is a 2 units of chromosomes. So when they divide, two daughter cells have been formed. When the parent cell undergoes division, the two daughter cells have been formed, and the daughter cells receive same number of chromosomes as that of the parents. It has 2n, it also has 2n, so it is an equational division. Same number of chromosomes as that of the parents. Now, meiosis. It is a reductional division where parent cell undergoing division forms four haploid daughter cells, and daughter cells receive half the number of chromosomes that of their parents. So it is a reductional division. There is no equal division in this. So two number of chromosomes, they divide, they form one chromosome, two daughter cells. So it is divided in mitosis 1, mitosis 2. Mitosis 2. So in mitosis 1, two daughter cells have been formed, and they get only half the number of chromosomes as that of the parents. And again, meiosis 2. Sorry for those mistakes. Please don't mind it. So they form four haploid daughter cells. What means meaning of haploid means they receive the half the number of chromosomes. So they form two. This all begin and it forms meiosis. So they form four daughter cells. Now, what is haploid? It means single unit of chromosome. Single unit of chromosome. They have diploid. Diploid means double double unit of chromosome, but they receive it half, and then they receive it half of the nan, and they are half haploid daughter cells. Now you will study this too in the further sessions, so stay calm. Don't overload anything. This is enough for you. Now let's study some differences between the mitosis and meiosis. So it is equational division, whereas it is a reductional division. The parent cell may be haploid or diploid. They can be, it may contain mm, haploid number of chromosome, or it may contain diploid number of chromosome, but it always contain diploid number of chromosome because in mitosis part 1 division and part 2 divisions occurs. So they need more number of chromosomes. Now they form two daughter cells, whereas they form four daughter cells. They receive whole set of chromosome. So if in meiosis two chromosomes have, if the parent cells has two number of chromosomes, then the daughter cells get the same number, whereas they receive only half set of the chromosomes. Now what is tissue? Group of cells is known as tissue. Now now let's study the plant, two types of plant tissue. So one is simple permanent tissue, one is complex permanent tissue. In simple permanent tissue, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma are there. You will study about simple permanent tissue in further biology sessions. Don't overload anything, or you'll just get confused and get a headache about all these things. Just study a little bit. Now the next thing is complex permanent tissue. Two types. There are two types in complex. One is xylem and the other is phloem. Xylem, it transports water in the whole plant body, in a plants. If you want me to explain, you might have heard it in 10th about xylem and phloem. If you want me to explain the xylem and phloem all processes, then comment down below and I will make a video on that. So xylem and phloem, xylem parenchyma, xylem trachea, xylem sclerenchyma. In this, only xylem parenchyma is a living cell. Now phloem, it transports foods into the whole plant body from leaf to all parts of the body. It transfers food. So it has sieve tubes, companion cell, parenchyma, sclerenchyma. In this, all are living cell except sclerenchyma. It is dead cell. And you know, the sclerenchyma is even known as a dead tissue. It is in the lush. It is there, but it is dead. It's useless. Now we have studied about plant tissues. Now let's study about animal tissue. There are 5 types of animal tissue. One is epithelial tissue, muscle tissue, neural tissue, connective tissue, and glandular tissue. Now what is epithelial tissue? What is meaning of this epithelial? Means layer, upper layer or inner layer. Now imagine this is a liver. So in this, the upper layer and this inner layer are nothing but epithelial tissue. It is made of epithelial tissue. So the skin, upper layer of the skin and the inner layer of the skin is made up of epithelial tissue. Now muscle tissue, you know muscle. So the muscle tissues is a part of animal tissue. The neural tissue, the neurons and all, it's a big thing. It's a long thing. It will take a lot of time, so don't waste the time. And it's a big thing. You might have heard it in 10th. If you want to know about this, then tell me and I will comment in the section down and I will make a video on that too. Now connective tissue, all the balls, all the tissue, all the things that are connected is connected by this. And a glandular tissue, it is also an important thing. I need to tell you about these things, but you will study it in your further biology sessions. And but if you want to make me a video on these all things, then comment down and I will make on these topics. Now, what is an organ? Group of tissues form organs, and group of organs coordinate and form organ system, like the digestive system, alimentary system, respiratory system, and many more. Now, biomolecules. Bio means living. Molecules mean particles. These are molecules which are synthesized in living system. Meaning of synthesize is produced and stored. So synthesizing, produce and store. So these are the molecules which are produced and are stored in living system, like carbohydrates, DNA. These are stored in our body and they are produced. Now monomer and polymer. Monomer means single unit. Polymer means many unit. These are single unit of carbohydrates or many things. Now what is now polymer? It has a bond. That bond is known as glycosidic bond. It is found by bond. So this is glucose. Polymer means a bond of glucose, a lot of bond of glucose. So this, the thing that keeps it attached is glycosidic bond. Now in protein there is a bond too. Now this bond is known as peptide bond. Now let's study about DNA and RNA. So DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. Now it is known as deoxyribonucleic acid. It means the oxygen is absent in DNA. Oxygen is absent in DNA. It does not have that oxygen, whereas ribonucleic acid has oxygen. Now in DNA, it is formed by two purines and pyrimidines. Purines has Ag, azidothymine, and it has pyrimidines, T and C. This is important. So purines form a pair with pyrimidines. This always gets together coupled and they form pairs. So it forms, the azidothymine forms two double bonds with T and the G form triple bond with the C. You will study it in your further sessions in biology. So now a small thing separates DNA from RNA. So that is that RNA, it has U instead of T. Just this thing makes it different. Now let's study nucleoside. Nucleoside is nothing but nitrogen bases and pentose sugar. What is a nitrogen bases? These things, these is known as nitrogen bases. This Ag, Tc, this purines and pyrimidines is nothing but nitrogen bases. Now what is pentose sugar? It means 5 carbon sugar molecule. 5 carbon sugar molecule. And then when we combine nitrogen bases with pentose sugar, it forms nucleoside. Now when we combine this nucleoside plus phosphate group, it gives nucleotide. Now biological classification. Aristotle, the first person, he classified them animals into two, anima and inema. Means anima means animals without blood, inema means animals with blood. He classified plants into herbs, shrubs, trees. Herbs means they have a weak stem and they can grow up to just 1 meter height, and but these are woody stem and they can grow up to 30 feet, and they have a bushy like structure, and these are the large plants. They can grow up to 30 meters. Imagine how wide it would be. They are very strong. You know that Aristotle gave two classification, animals and plants, but he did not give kingdom classification. Carolus Linnaeus did two kingdom classification. Then came Ernest Haeckel. He did three kingdom classification. Copeland comes the next. He did four kingdom classification. Then R.H. Whitaker, he did five kingdom classification. The five kingdom classification we study nowadays. It is Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantia, Animalia. Monera. These are unicellular and these are prokaryotic. And these are also unicellular, but they are eukaryotic. A small change makes a big difference. Fungi, you also know, you can also say this as mycota. It has fungi. There are many types of fungi, so it has a separate classification of plantae. It may be unicellular, multicellular, but they are autotrophic organisms. They produce their own food. Anyway, like, they are multicellular and they can move from one place to another, but they cannot. That's the advantage of being a human being, isn't it? So autotrophs, organisms which prepare their own food. You know this. Now, what is phototropic? Organisms prepare their own food with the help of light. So they prepare their own food with the help of light. Now, what is chemotropism? Prepare organisms prepare their own food with the help of chemical reactions inside their cell. So the chemical reactions that are taking inside their cell, and from this chemical reaction they form their own food. For example, you can say bacteria. Now heterotrophs, they do not prepare their own food and are dependent on the autotrophs. We are heterotrophs and we are dependent on others. And this ends our whole basic concepts. Please do a subscribe if you like my if you like my channel, if you like my teaching. Please give it a big thumbs up, a big thumbs up, and don't forget to share. Please do a subscribe and like, and I will continue making videos for you. Thank you. Bye.